Workplace safety is regulated by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, better known as OSHA. This is the government agency that ensures that you have a safe place to work. We must be diligent, as not all hazards are easy to spot, as the one in the picture. Some jobs may appear to be more dangerous or more critical than others. But they are all very important, and it is important to remain safe in our workplace. The OSHA Hazard Communication Standard, or HAZCOM, ensures the workers' right to know not only the identities, but the hazards of the chemicals they work with and around under normal conditions of use, and in reasonably foreseeable emergencies. We must be informed in 5 ways at work. 1. Written Hazard Communication Program. 2. Must have an inventory of chemicals. 3. Must have material safety data sheets. 4. Must have an explanation of the chemical labeling. And 5. Must have effective training of chemical hazards. The objectives of the HAZCOM program today are to first make you aware of the hazards within the chemicals you are working with or around. This includes not only what the potential health hazards are in the products, but also how to detect the presence or release of this hazard in the work area. The second HAZCOM objective is to teach you safe methods of handling the products you are working around. Remember, while a product may be hazardous, with the use of proper safety equipment and procedures, the product should become safe for you to use. Finally, a key objective is to inform you of your company's written hazard communication program. This includes the proper product labeling requirements, along with your related responsibilities. Additionally, your HAZCOM program should document how to identify the location of the MSD sheets in your work area. The components of your hazard communication program include 1. A written HAZCOM program. 2. Material safety data sheets. 3. Proper chemical labeling. 4. Personal protective equipment. And 5. Your training. Your company's written hazard communication program will help make you aware of hazards you may encounter when using chemicals and how to deal with them safely. It also describes what you are to do if there is an accident. This information is provided on the MSDS and the product labels. Material Safety Data Sheets. There are 9 sections of Spartan's Material Safety Data Sheets. The first section is our product information. The second is hazardous ingredients. Third, physical data. Let's look at the MSDS closer. Section 1, Product Information. This section identifies the Spartan product name and the contact information, including both technical and emergency phone numbers. Section 2, Hazardous Ingredients. This section identifies any hazardous ingredient in the product, the occupational exposure limit, OEL, if there is any. The OEL tells you how much of the material you can generally be safely exposed to in an 8-hour shift. And finally, whether the ingredient is known to cause cancer. Section 3, the physical data. This section describes what the product looks like, smells like, whether it is a gas, a liquid, or a solid. its pH, thickness, and percent of solids. Section 4. Fire and explosion data. This section tells you whether the product is flammable, and if so, at what temperature does the product ignite, and what you should do to safely extinguish the fire. Section 5. Health hazard data. For the average user, Section 5 is arguably the most important section of the material safety data sheet to understand, other than name. The reason is this section tells you what happens if you get the product in your eyes, on your skin, breathe it in, or ingest it. It provides the emergency and first aid procedures to use as well. Section 6. Reactivity data. This section describes what happens if you should accidentally mix this chemical with another chemical. Section 7. Spill or leak procedures. This section describes what you should do if the container begins to leak. It should describe if you will dispose of it with water, down the drain, capture it, etc. Section 8. Special protection information. Outside the name of the product and the health hazard data, this section is also a very important part for every user of the product. This section tells you what you can use in the way of personal protective equipment to make the product safe to use. Section 9 lists any special precautions that were not listed in previous sections, including such things as special handling and special storage conditions. The Spartan Chemical labels include the following things: product name, manufacturer's name, manufacturer's address, directions for use, and physical precautions. Each label has a product name that allows you to identify not only the product, but also provides the reference link back to a MSDS. Manufacturer's name allows you to identify maker of the product. The address provides the ability to locate the manufacturer. The directions for use provides basic information on how to dilute the product if applicable, and the application of the product. Physical precautions on the label simply describe any physical and health hazards of the product if it should contact your skin or eyes, or accidentally be ingested. Generally, the precautionary language will also refer you back to the MSDS for additional information. Secondary labels must be applied to all containers by the person who transfers the chemical from the original product container into a secondary container, i.e. from a gallon jug into a spray bottle. If you come across a container that contains a chemical and it is not labeled with a secondary label, take it to your supervisor immediately. Personal protective equipment. Products requiring the use of personal protective equipment may state that you must use certain safety equipment including gloves, eye protectors, respirators, shoes, shoe covers and boots, and aprons. Please refer to the product label and the MSDS for specific information on the product you are handling or using. If the product requires that you use this equipment, it is your responsibility to wear the equipment. Your employer must provide access to the proper safety equipment. Why do we do all this? The purpose is so you have a safe place to work. Remember, some jobs appear to be more dangerous or critical than others. So we must be diligent, as not all hazards are easy to spot as the one in the picture. Thank you for taking the time to review the CleanCheck Safety module. Your dedication and commitment are key to a safe workplace.